Beautiful.
We are pressing way too many buttons off air. And I'm worried what's to come.
I just
bears
don't
and
like
beards,
it.
oh my.
I mean, you got somebody to put a shirt back on, and here we are.
Wait, I'm supposed
Are you
to
also wearing your Dynasty Happy Hour shirt at work,
Yeah.
Tyler?
What? What? Am I? Oh my gosh.
Wow.
How did this
3
happen?
plugs. Speaking of shirts,
Oh,
How did this happen?
Tyler 3
It's like it was planned.
from the F3 certainly has his don't do this to me, Boloski. Don't pull out that
Do it.
Tyler and Eli fantasy football pod.
Do it.
I completely forgot.
Oh,
I'll get it out. I'll have my wife get it for me. I'll put it.
forget it. Forget it. Do it live. Do it live.
I'll do it live. When she gets home.
pick up
We're doing it live.
There.
When she gets
Let's
home, I'll
see
have
it.
her do it.
What if he's like, I'm not prepared, and all of a sudden behind him a huge screen pops up and it's got the podcast logo.
He rips off his shirt like Superman.
Yeah.
I'm seriously not
He rips
prepared.
the string and it's just
That'd
the
be
string
great.
comes down like
Takes off shirt,
champagne,
giant
confetti.
giant tattoo.
The
He's
chest
just
tattoo.
Acted all cool about it. Seriously, I'm not prepared. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I'll bring
Fireworks.
her.
Then the SFB 8 scrolls come out too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I want to
Oh.
play.
Hey, you know what?
Wait,
I
Wait,
actually,
did you just call them the scrolls? Like they like?
They were
oh
scrolls.
yeah, there was
100%. Did you see?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
see them?
Yeah, I,
Oh yeah.
Hey,
They were
Tyler, Gee,
scrolls.
don't ever make that look when you're doing that again.
Hey, you know what? Some of my predictions actually came true almost. I got a couple people like Kent from the Red Shirts podcast. I was only off by 1.
Nobody
And-
likes him.
Yeah, and then another guy I was off by like 10 or so. But one guy was off.
well,
by
I know
like
you were wrong on me because you didn't predict the 7 people on IR I have. So,
Yeah, right? And then one guy was off by like 850.
Yeah, I saw that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that,
You know,
that
you win
was
some,
probably
you lose some.
that was probably me.
I was probably close to. I think I was in the bottom half somewhere, and I know I didn't make the playoffs, so that about does it.
You're about
Right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Just missed it barely. Welcome in. My goodness, it's the open bar, and we're back. Well, at least I am. J Mike ran things last week, a little TG open bar style. I was just way too concerned with that tripping off that tryptophan. You know how that
Ooh.
goes, J Mike.
Ooh.
You know how that goes.
Oh, tripping off that bubble guts. Okay.
Oh my!
Let me see
I
that
just had-
stuffing.
Yeah, exactly. Pass me that dressing, boy. I asked on Twitter. I said, "Am I alone, or is anybody else still working on Thanksgiving leftovers?" And shout out to Russell Clay, who told me. He said, "You're never alone, fella." So shout out to Russell Clay, friend of the show. He let me know that at least if there's nobody else in the world that feels me, he feels me.
No one else is with you. I think it's you and Russ. Sorry,
Yeah,
J Mike.
I've started to resort to this ramen noodles because I'm still poor. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just sick of turkey at this point. Real conversation. One of my friends who called me was like, "Hey, remember when we were poor and had to eat ramen noodles?" I was like, "Yeah, I remember Thursday." Yes, I remember that.
Thanksgiving was
It
great.
was.
How was it for you?
Yeah.
It was literally just like a few days ago, man. So yeah, crazy.
It was
They
the
have
beef
turkey
flavor.
flavor? I'll say, do they have turkey flavor?
No, it was chili, but if you mix it with the turkey, it's freaking
Disgusting.
yeah. It tastes just like poverty, and you should give it a shot.
Sprinkle a little bit of that poverty on there.
Yeah,
Perfect.
the-
MSG for everyone.
Chicago fans, don't feel bad for them.
you shouldn't. We're leading the division. In case you,
You know
didn't
what?
know.
Wow.
Here we go.
Boloski, what are you a fan of besides, life in terms of football teams?
I like the Giants.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Would you
Yeah,
like
I'm sorry.
to temporarily just kind of change teams for tonight to kind of have this NFC North showdown that we're having?
My wife's a Packers fan, so we'll go with the Packers.
Ugh.
Perfect. And
Not better.
Renshaw.
Cool. So I get the Lions.
I forget where you're at.
I'm in
Aren't
the middle
you?
of nowhere, but
Cornfield somewhere.
Nebraska. Nebraska.
yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
Cowboys fan, but
Oh, Cowboys,
I'll
that's it.
rep the Lions.
Okay.
I don't have a lot to say.
Yeah, this is
Well,
an
then what?
NFC North show now. That is what we came here.
No,
for.
no, no.
What you came
I'm
here
Falcons. Falcons.
for? You're a homer though. I know you're all about Dalvin Cook and players that play for the Minnesota Vikings. You know,
Dalvin
don't you
Cook.
know?
Hey,
Don't you know?
You know, if you guys want to always come up here in the great white north, I could
Is he
cook you
gonna
up some
say tuna
casserole.
Casserole. Yep. I
Some
figured.
casserole.
Hey, can you also- can you blow that horn? Because I haven't heard that every play.
Huh?
Guys, the Minnesota Vikings horn. Yeah, they gained 3 yards. Blow it. Hit it.
You mean
Blow
the
the
brown note? Have you heard the big one? It sounds like the brown note.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. I can't even watch a Vikings game because it doesn't matter what happens. Hit it. Hit it. Go ahead and blow the horn.
What are you guys gonna blow? Rah, rah, rah.
All right, and by the way, you're live. We're live on the open bar. It's 9:30 Eastern.
I'm not going to explain what theirs blow. Okay, we've already had this conversation
They're like honey. They're like honey.
Yep. Y'all got it. Okay, J Mike. J
Wait,
Mike,
what's
how
wrong, Gabe?
how you doing,
What do we
man?
do?
I'm lost. I'm lost in the sauce, man. Thankful for
Too much of it.
too much sauce. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Obviously, hoping
Me
everyone
too.
had a wonderful holiday. Got to spend it with a lot of fam. We hosted, so it was great. But week 12 brought so much fantasy death right before the playoffs. So I'm excited to get into it, a lot of it tonight. And Gabe, welcome back to you. Thank you for coming back, for not loving Nashville so much that you would stay there and never come home. So we can actually do the show.
Time out. Gabe, you were in Nashville? You were in Nash Vegas?
Cashville.
Wait, and you didn't hit a brother up? I live 45 minutes away from Nashville.
Well,
BG,
see,
what up?
The thing about knowing things is I did it.
I can't believe you were all the way. Can't believe you were all the way in Oklahoma and you didn't tell him.
Yeah,
That's like a whole
Nashville,
drive.
Arkansas, actually.
Nashville, Oh, stupid me, right?
We are apologies, Tyler, Gee.
Not accepted.
Yeah,
Continue.
we'll get there. All right. Welcome in, Tylers of the Twitter fam. Would you like to introduce yourself? Say anything good about yourself or possibly your wife or your beard?
Nobody's gonna step up.
No,
Mhm.
go for it, Tyler.
All right.
Tyler, go for it.
Yeah, I'm Tyler Gunther, Dynasty Happy Hour. You guys all know me from. Pretty much, you guys probably only know Doug and Tim. I'm just the extra guy they try to get rid of every week, but
Well, when you podcast from work, I mean.
I have to tonight. You guys have been begging me, offering all tons of cash. I figured I might as well take the deal.
It's true.
But no, I really wanted to come on. I know I've tried to hijack the show a couple times in the past, so I thought I'd actually come on. And
What do you mean try
Actually hijack it.
to? I
yeah.
was like, what do you mean try to?
But no, Gabe, we have to mention. So we lost a member of LFO, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, real quick shout out to Devin Lima, one of the members of LFO. Thoughts and condolences to him and his family. It's just crazy. It's cool getting to know those guys and all, but it's still life that we're dealing with here, and it's sad to see that kind of stuff happen to anyone. And Brad, we feel you, we hear you, we're here for you, my man. But
Yeah, they were awesome when they came on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But on a positive note, we got a bunch of Tylers in here, and you can't get much better than that.
No, Speaking of, we got a Boloski, we got a Gee. What's up, Boloski? I don't want to talk to Tyler Gee. He's kind of a hater.
Yeah, I'm Tyler Boloski, co-host of the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips podcast, exclusively on YouTube. I also write for AcrossTheFantasyPond.com. Rob, he's a great guy. He has his own podcast. Second time on, and I can't wait to talk about Adam Thielen and how he's so much better than Steph Diggs. That's a little shout out to Pete Howard when I was on earlier this summer. And I can't wait to talk about how Tyler Gee is adamant about Jordan Howard and how he's doing horrible this year. So, I'm loving it.
I mean, was it really necessary for you to just intro and just drop bows left and right?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to start out hot.
Fair enough. Should
ripping through. Do you have any dirt on Tyler Boloski, Tyler Gee? Do you have a counter?
He's got bad handwriting.
I
We've
do.
seen your SFB scripts.
Yeah, right.
What are those in crayon?
His mother is a hamster. His father stinks of elderberries. My name is Tyler.
I'm so happy you did that quote, Gee. That is awesome. Monty Python quote. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. My name is Tyler Gee. I run at F3 Pod. I run the website and do the podcast stuff there. And I unfortunately know these other Tylers. I'm just kidding. They're great guys. And along with Gabe and J Mike and Renshaw, you're all right, I guess.
Thanks,
but
can we mute him? Can we just mute him?
That is possible.
Cut him out.
Yeah, like a spirit stick we pass. You do not have to speak. You cannot talk. But no. No, I do all that, and you should check us out because we do fun things and we football and we.
Okay.
I mean, I don't.
Right.
I'm also thrown off. I did a podcast with the IDP guys literally minutes before I came on here, so I feel weird. Like I'm already like reliving. And then we recorded last night too. So like this is my third podcast, and this is also the second time that my wife is pissed off at me. So you know.
You know what you do?
In 2 nights or 2 hours or life? Like what?
Well, no wives are happy.
What time is it? I need to know the hour because that's.
No wives are happy.
No.
Let's be real. That's a mountain that nobody can climb.
Yeah. Amen.
No, well, thank you for fitting us in. Then I understand 3 pods. It's a heavy workload, my man. So and with the site and your own pod running all that, it's heavy duty. So Tyler's, thanks for coming on. We also got a non-Tyler, Renshaw.
Man, I feel like the black sheep of the group here. Holy cow!
You just want to take that, J Mike? Wow.
Whoa! Jesus.
What exactly are you trying to infer?
I'm talking about how weird you are. What are
hey,
you
Mr. Gee. Mr. Gee, all sheeps matter.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness!
See, now listen, hold on.
All right, Renshaw.
Wowzer,
would you like to say anything?
Yeah, so I'll be the dad of the group. I'm Matt Renshaw from Dynasty Dads. Yeah, doing the podcast.
Wish Dad could grow a beard better.
Hey, well, we don't all have to look old. I can carry a baby face. Pretty good.
I know. I look 45 and I'm only 31.
So yeah, Dynasty Dads.
Am I the oldest man on the group? Am I the oldest one here then?
You might be.
What's that, Grandpa?
I know, right?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
Turn up your earbuds. Wait, who just immediately climb to the top?
Yeah, right.
Where's your caramels that you pass out at church?
Werther's Originals.
My Werther's, yeah.
J Mike, do you have anything hot off the top of the dome that you'd like to speak of right away that you're just chomping at the bit for? What is it? Tell me now. Go.
No, that's the thing. There's so many things right now.
I know.
So real quick, we won't get crazy. SFB. Just real quick.
Raise your hand if you're in the playoffs.
Anybody in the playoffs?
That's me.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
7
Tyler.
people on IR. That's all I have to say.
Hey,
7
hey, nobody cares.
Okay.
I
Be
have
better.
I
Be
have no tight end.
better.
I have no tight end. All of them are on IR. Every single one of them. You ever have OJ Howard, Jack Doyle, and who is it?
So,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna step up in front of you. I had both of them go on IR.
Ooh.
I had Jerick McKinnon at the beginning of the year go on IR. I had Cooper Kupp go on IR. 8-4.
I had Cup, Freeman. Yeah,
So what
off
you
top of
guys
my
are
head.
saying that mistakes were made, which I mean it's okay if your team is not in the playoffs, it's okay. But I feel like Gabe, I feel like we checked in on that weekly last year. This year we didn't hardly touch on it, but I just wanted to see what was up because now obviously playoffs are here, and that's kind of a big talking point right now around the fantasy world. So I figured that we should at least bring it up. So Gabe, how's your squad?
You know, it kind of happened with most of the redraft squads this year. Is they all kind of came on pretty late, about 4 or 5 weeks too late. Too much in a dynasty mind for these redraft games. I gotta go back to the old chalkboard, Jeepers Creepers, fellas, and reassess because, man, the team's okay now, but the team is not in the playoffs, so it doesn't really matter at this
It doesn't
point.
matter.
It really doesn't, like not at all. So
Hey, you guys got that Football Guys subscription you guys can go for.
that's true. Fair enough. Okay.
I got a redraft league kind of the same way, but it's a work league, and so it's switching over to redraft. So, but luckily I've had Kerryon Johnson and Nick Chubb both sitting on my bench, just waiting, and now it's finally coming to fruition, and I'm trying to sneak into the playoffs. Like I have to win basically one of the next 2 games to get into the playoffs for sure.
So they've been on your bench this whole time? You know you could start them.
Wow, breaking news. No, but I can't. No, but I had like the youngest team known to me. Like I had Saquon and Chubb, which looked terrible week 1, but now week, whatever, it's looking pretty sexy. And like Galladay, and I'm just looking at this stupid roster. I forget who even I had. And yes, I do have Jordan Howard there, Tyler.
Hey.
Get off me.
Does anyone kind of feel that way though with their if y'all kind of split between dynasty and redraft, or even if you have just a dash of dynasty or a dash of redraft, that you end up kind of playing one side more than the other and it just kind of screws you up? Do you ever slip in that sense? Because I seem to have fallen into that trap this year just a little bit. And maybe it has to do with that rookie draft from last year where all the running backs just went off early and quickly. And so now we all kind of thought that might happen again. And we love all these young players, or we love how they came off from last year, like Dalvin Cook or Fournette or whatever, and they fall. And then the rookies this year, they don't come on until week 10. So did any of y'all fall in that trap too? Just me. Cool. Got it.
I kind of did. No, I kind of did. But I'd have to say this year was probably the first year I kind of realized, like, hey, I can draft Larry Fitzgerald too, and I'd be all right, even though it didn't work out in my favor.
Yeah,
it's
not
just,
even this year. The Fitz would work out this year.
So the year I actually decided to go a little older is the year where it kind of screws me over. But yeah, Dynasty never leaves, it feels, if you're really into the Dynasty game. If you have more than like so many leagues in Dynasty, it feels like it kind of never leaves your blood in that draft. You're like, ooh, Nick Chubb. Okay, we'll take him in the 8th round. Hopefully he hits.
Yeah, I mean, you had all three. We talked about this early on, J. Mike. All those Browns running backs, all the Browns players were in the top 100 for Dynasty and partly in redraft. I'm sure a lot of them were there. So, I mean, man, just what a miss kind of that was, really. And maybe, you had your Hyde weeks. You had a top 15 running back there. And then Duke Johnson had a few weeks as well, top 15 running back. And now Nick Chubb. So it's just redraft is certainly a process. You got to grind throughout the year, kind of much more than Dynasty where you're doing that in the offseason, I think.
And so
go ahead, Tom.
Go ahead, J-Mike. Oh, I I was going to mention, speaking of like redraft and waiver wire, I have to bring up a mistake that was made by me in a league with Tim Torch. So waivers are processing. I already had Gus Edward on my team. I picked him up like week 3 because it's a deep league. And then, what's his name? Robert Tonyan from the Packers went off on Thursday, and I put in a waiver bid, dropping Gus Edwards the week he went off. I didn't realize it. Didn't check my waivers. Waivers process. I'm like, wait, where'd Gus go? Yeah, don't ever do that.
That's gonna live on in infamy. That's rough.
Yeah, Torch hasn't let me live that one down.
Well,
We need to come back to Gus Edwards, but J Mike, continue on with what you were going to say.
no, I was just gonna say with now finishing up what has been, and I'm curious your all's perspective on this as well. Finishing up what's been my now second season in Dynasty, I'm finding that I felt like in my redraft leagues I did have a little bit more success than I did in my Dynasty leagues. I'm not exactly sure of why just yet, but that just brings me to this point. I'm really not sure that I even want to play redraft anymore. Like I really, I've loved Dynasty. I've loved digging into the rookie stuff and the whole process and the off season and talking perspective with people. And like the off season has become an event in itself to me, which I guess it's always been a thing in Dynasty, but I've missed that. But I don't know, like even as much success as I've had in my redraft leagues, I don't know that I want to continue that. Is that something that any of you guys struggle with though?
It is. I tell people all the time when they talk about Dynasty, I have 2 metaphors. The first is dating. Dynasty is a marriage. It is this is your team. Redraft is a nice dating game. You know, keeper is engagement, and the DFS is a one-night stand. And that's kind of where it at. And you know, if you've got a good marriage going, you can never imagine going back to dating. Like you're just like, that just sounds awful. Like I have to go out at 10 o'clock at night. No, thank you. You know, and so, and then also I just relate it to drugs. You know, redraft is, you know,
Keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, let's hear this one.
Redraft is, you know, a little devil's lettuce. You know, it's nice, it's fun. But
Well, romaine.
But Dynasty's that crack.
Can't touch that
You know?
romaine right now.
No.
Yeah, don't touch that romaine. But you know, Dynasty's that crack. You know, and once you start on that stuff, there's no off season. You know, there's not. And you may have rolled a little bit into your devil's lettuce. You know, you may have rolled a little bit into that marijuana, but now you're just hooked. Now you're just doing straight crack. And so I completely understand.
Jesus.
Wait a second. Devil's lettuce is marijuana. Did I hear that?
I got hungry for a salad this whole time.
Dad.
That was you. It took me a whole second to realize that was you, Gabe. So congrats on that one. But
I was sitting here looking for Caesar.
Great
I
street.
really do enjoy a nice kale salad from time to time.
Oh, kale. I'd rather eat carpet.
Shag or
I feel like this is going down a dark, dirty path. All right,
can we get a carpet analogy now, Tyler Gee,
No.
with the whole redraft thing,
Well,
Yeah.
listen, there's
What kind
shag,
of carpet's
right?
which?
or just floors in general, like wood?
Hardwood.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I mean,
J Mike, going back to your dynasty talk. So, I have made my first trade with J Mike in my life in Dynasty in the Bar Tab League this year, and I will tell you, it was one of the more entertaining yet scariest things I've ever done in my life.
This should be good. I'm curious, why did you go on this roller coaster of emotions with my team that's absolutely trash in that league?
Just in bar
Well,
tab?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Gabe, in my notebook, I put "does not trade" under your name, so don't worry about that.
Does not trade with trash.
Whoa!
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
If anybody knows me, I start off sending a horrible offer. I will send something that is just god awful, and I make
Like
sure to put
Keelan
in
Cole
the
for Trey Burton. Got it.
I literally put in the bottom. This is just to let you
Yeah, I
know who
remember.
I want. You know what, Gabe? Where's my notebook? Where's my damn notebook?
Wait, you don't take that to work?
Yeah.
No. It's like my little green book on Waterboy. I don't let that thing go. No, J Mike. It was a moment when we were just about to hit this trade, and it was between Sam Darnold, and you really wanted him, and I wanted to give you Jameis, and you were very in your ways about Darnold, and I love Sam Darnold, and I just remember it. I started getting this feeling like I'm starting to piss this guy off, and I'm like, I should really just give him fucking Sam Darnold. So, there's a part of me that's like, if I offer him Jameis again, yeah, we did make a trade. It was because I actually gave in to Sam Darnold, but like, there's a part of me that's like, if I don't give him Sam Darnold, he's driving up here to Minnesota and he's hitting me with his car.
He's gonna put that casserole right upside down, pal.
There's a comment like, "Hey man, thanks for the offers, but I just." And like, we're just so far apart on Jameis, and I forgot what was said, but there's a couple words in there. I'm like, is he pissed? Is this guy pissed?
No, and that was the thing. So, and because obviously we're in the one place in the world where everyone cares about your fantasy team. So I'll go in for just a second.
Everybody does.
Snooze fest. Yeah. Anyway, so this team has Drew Brees. I'm not contending. I can't contend. It's awful team. It's not good. I'm trying to move Drew Brees. I don't even care who the quarterback is that I get. It's just never Jameis right now because I've wanted to believe in Jameis so much, even coming out of the Elite 11. Like, I was all about Jameis, and he just.
I offered to crab legs with him too, and you just said no.
I think no, because he probably stole them. I'm not taking stolen crab legs.
They're hot crab legs. All right. I'm sorry.
No, thanks.
Oh my gosh.
So that no, I think that we were just far apart, and so I'm not even necessarily big on Darnold, but I know a lot of smart people are. So then I was like, okay, if I can get Darnold, great. If I can't, it's okay, no big deal. And so it's so funny when you read texts, especially in trade negotiations, because you don't hear tone. And I was never mad or anything. I was just like, no big deal. Like, I'm at work and I'm trying to discuss stuff at work. I was like, I can't do this right now. So no.
I will say Tyler Gunther is better at talking at work than you are.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So I think I made a trade with everybody in here, but Gabe and the other Tyler. I'm not going to even bother with your last name. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
As much as I wouldn't have you bother with mine. And then Renshaw over here in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm not even in a league with him.
No.
Babyface Renshaw.
That's
But
it.
yeah,
Literally, you traded with me and J Mike. Got it.
No, two of the
and then J Mike, you were. I was kind of like a little nervous. Tyler Gee, it was just easy. It was just like, all right, cool.
I'm always.
it was the easiest thing. He's like, hey, what do you want? All right, cool.
This is a good spot because we're going to swing on both sides of this spectrum. Let's start first with these older players in Dynasty, and then in the chat, shout out to everybody in the chat. We'll get to that here in a second. We're gonna come back to some early rookie talk, which is interesting. But back to this vet talk. So for your and this is for everyone, for those players that are on your team, whether you're contending or not, the older players, your Larry Fitzgeralds, your Drew Breeses, your Tom Brady's, all those type of players who have been uber productive over the years and have even been incredibly productive in their position this year, like in the instance of Drew Brees, who's likely on course for NFL MVP. What's the point or what's the value that those type of players should hold? So just for example, Drew Brees, Superflex League, you're a contender and he would be a major upgrade to your situation. What kind of, and let's just talk pick value, I guess, because I think that's the easiest way to calibrate. What's the pick value that you're giving up for a Drew Brees if you want him on your team? Like, is he worth 101?
You don't have 101 if you're a contender.
I'm saying you could acquire the 101 in many ways. So maybe you didn't earn it the hard way.
I will tell you. I will tell you. In one of my leagues, I traded like Matt Breida for a guy who thought he was going to be doing well for his first round pick. Since then, his whole team has gone awry, and I am sitting here probably with the 101, 102, and I am contending, even though I traded Matt Breida because he had Jarrett McKinnon. He's thinking, okay, if I get Matt Breida, I'll be okay. But he had everyone get hurt. Like he had Dalvin Cook, he had AJ Green, so yes, it is possible to have the 101, 102 and still be contending.
So Drew Brees, it would be worth a late first, early second, maybe early second, early third with that second. I mean, if you're contending, you're going for it. I mean, what are we here to do? We're here to win championships. So if you can go for that championship, Drew Brees is going to be a huge piece. And if you can give a late first for Drew Brees, yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah, I second that. I'm only in one dynasty league, and I went in all
What is
in.
wrong with you?
Well,
Boo this man.
What are you doing with your life?
Everyone
guys
spit on him.
all the guys I play with, they're old school and they it's just horrible. But yeah, I went all in.
Grandpa doesn't have the time.
I know, right? No, the grandpas I play with.
Guys, get off my back.
But I went all in this year because I went with Bell and AJ Green and Rodgers and everything like. Cause in all seriousness, like I said it last time I was on, I just want to get the most points as I can to win, and I don't feel rookies at that time is going to do it for me. So I would trade whatever it takes to get the players and points I need and want, whether it's the first 7 picks of my the next year's draft or whatever it takes. So yeah, give me Breeze, give me Brady or whatever. As long as I can win, then. Yeah, I don't care what I have to trade to win.
Yeah, I'm with Tyler. I'll give up a late first to get Breeze in a heartbeat. In a league where I'm contending, you're going to give me one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league right now. I'll trade 112 for that. Who even is 112 right now?
That's a money trend.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to everybody in the chat. FF Trader Joe was cracking. He was first man. Svoboda was in the building. What's up, Chris? Peter Howard, the Rashad Penny enthusiast, the Mr. Macchia. Ooh, that would be a great shirt, Mr. Macchia.
Kind of like this one right here. Oh yeah, I got it. Told you to break it out.
A little late.
Yeah, I know. Wardrobe change.
Shout out Casey Myers, married to the games in the building. What's up, Casey?
Hey, I beat you by 1 point yesterday. Thank you.
Shade.
Take that, married to the game UDPL.
Tyler, I just realized I was looking back at our trade because you said we did a trade, and I forgot that we did one, to be honest, when you're in this many leagues. And I looked back on it, and it's interesting. It was Cortland Sutton and Trey Burton for, was it Frank Gore and basically Sony Michel. That was like, now, mind you, this is in April. So.
Yeah.
Can you say that one more time?
Cortland Sutton and Trey Burton. I'm not going to tell you which side. For Frank Gore and Sony Michel.
I already know which side is which.
Which side is which? Tell me.
You guess I'm a Bears fan?
Well, I was gonna say, I guess you're a Bears fan, so maybe that actually messes with me. I was just referencing that Tyler Gundner was trying to get Trey Burton from me, so I figured that
I dealt him. I got Sony.
Okay, yeah. That once I realized the Bears thing, I was like, I switched sides.
Well, and a lot of it too was when at the time I took over this team, and I think my only tight end at the time was Jared Cook. So now keep in mind, this was in April, before Jared Cook did anything. So I was desperate. I was a desperate man.
Look, being deficient at tight end makes a man do desperate things nowadays.
Well, and I still don't think it's an awful trade. I mean, I don't think that it was. I mean, some trades you look back on and you're like, sweet Jesus, what happened? At the time it was a great trade, but then, 4 months later. It's like dating that ugly chick. At the time, it wasn't a bad idea, but then now you're like 4 months into this relationship. You're like, Jesus, like, what are we doing here?
You are great with analogies, Tyler. I just want you to know that. Like, I want to be the first to tell you.
He's like a poet. He's like a damn poet up there.
I kind of feel like all of his analogies are women based though, and it's
And drugs.
interesting and worrisome.
Women, drugs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I-
I'm one step away from like a rap song here.
Jeez.
Interesting you'd say that.
The,
That's
Welcome
actually
to the
interesting
franchise.
because, yeah, let's say Gabe is actually just coming out with a song like that.
the other end of that spectrum that I wanted to hit real quick was the fact that in the chat, and I didn't finish my shout outs before I was rudely interrupted with awesome
I
content.
apologize.
With awesome content, I said, I appreciate it still. Zach from the Dynasty Dummies, don't you put your hands up at me, Tyler Gee. Zach from the Dummies in the building as well. What's up, Zach? And Aaron B, Big Bad Aaron B, what's up? The question was posed. Obviously, if you have the 101 right now, have you guys done any sort of off-season scouting yet? Like, when does that start for you guys? Like after the season? Now that
I've done a little bit. Harry's got to be 101.
Nikhil?
Like,
yeah.
the dude's
Yeah.
a beast.
And that brings
I think
but that brings another
Oh,
question
go.
though, and you can continue on this. Because we were talking in the chat, obviously, if Nikhil is right now your guy at 101, do you guys, just fundamentally speaking, I know it's obviously going to change person per person, but fundamentally speaking, is the value in taking a wide receiver at 101, is that a viable strategy for you guys? I'm just curious with what we know about wide receivers right now.
Depends on your team, yeah.
I think that if I have a team that I am content with, maybe this is a team that I've done well with, I'm okay with taking a wide receiver at the 101 because I can sit on him. I don't need him to play right away. I don't need the value right away. But when I'm a team that is rebuilding, I need the value now. I need to be able to plug and play this player. I need to be able to get real tangible things for this. I mean, let's be honest. A few weeks ago, DJ Moore wasn't worth his draft value. Now he is now.
says
But
you.
he says most people that traded for him. I mean, I'm just saying, there's no way you can tell me that the value you're getting now for DJ Moore is the same value you got 4 weeks ago. No way you can tell me that.
No.
And so, I mean, maybe in some of your leagues, it just depends on who you also play with, too. I mean, I think that's another factor. But I just feel like if it's one of those things that if you need a player to make an impact now, I'm fine with trading the 101 if it's a rebuild. If it's not a rebuild, I'm fine with just keeping them and just moving
I actually
on from
disagree. I disagree
there. Let's fight.
very politely. I disagree because if you
As
get
Tyler
Geese
Reese
said.
starts
right,
yelling. Yeah, Geese starts yelling. Watch out.
Minnesota.
I
Nice.
don't care. I don't care. I'm too Southern Minnesota to have that niceness.
Wait,
I
how did you switch?
Oh my God.
I just
Southern
keep,
Minnesota.
Bro,
We're more hardcore down here.
dude, I'm Southern Kentucky, man. We will
Did y'all
kick you
hear?
in the face.
did y'all hear
Tell you
that
that.
Southern twang come out in just a hair of Minnesota? Like it was that was
He
bro.
snapped.
I'm excited to
I-
get it on the
I just-
replay.
I keep thinking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's fine, but I keep thinking about Laquan Treadwell. I know that's a
Southern
1-0.
He was
Southern
102.
Minnesota.
Yeah, that was 102 after it was Zeke.
It
and then
was Zeke
Treadwell.
101. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if you took Treadwell 101, you were
You
not.
deserve what you got in Treadwell.
Yeah.
All right,
But-
well then he's 102. He really worked out for you.
Honestly, if you're in a rebuild, you want to build around young receivers. That's how it is because the longevity. Running backs, by the time you're actually competing, those running backs are in their third, fourth year, and I mean their value is already probably past peak value.
But my point is could you take Nick Chubb right now and trade him for DJ Moore plus? I guarantee you could.
Nick Chubb, his value is way too high. Like Nick Chubb's probably going to be a second round startup pick.
It doesn't matter though. That is his perceived value. I'm not saying that that's
Kenny
right.
Galladay.
I'm just telling you that is his perceived value. I can trade Nick Chubb for Kenny Galladay and DJ Moore right now.
But we're talking about the 101. And this is what we would all consider a weakish class. And
I agree there. So let's take the 101, trade it for Nick Chubb.
I don't think you can do that. There's no way. And with Harry, it's all about combine base. He's a big dude. He has produced. He's young. That's all we look for in receivers.
I love Harry. I'm not disparaging Harry. I just think I like to find value where I can find value. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that the perceived value over actual value.
But I would love to see a league where you can get Chubb for 101. I don't think you ever could right now.
I don't know.
No, I agree. I haven't seen a league. I'm in a league where I've got 10. It's currently 101. It could be 102, and I sent it the offer for Chubb and couldn't get Chubb for that pick. I'm gonna kind of take a third road here. I trade the pick. Like I tried to trade as many picks as I could that are going to be early to make my run. I shoot, Gabe. We've talked multiple times how I'll sell 4, 5, 6 picks, whatever. I'll be 3 years without picks and try to add guys to win now because. Who knows? Who knows? Laquan Treadwell is a perfect example. Everyone was high on him coming out. Corey Davis is finally starting to live up to his draft stock of 101, 102 from a couple years ago. So I'd rather take the risk and trade it.
I think, but I agree completely with you. It's not that I'm against you there, Gunther. I think I agree more with Renshaw is that I just think it's better to trade it off for the pick. I think that the 101 is Harry. I really do. But I think
can we agree not to do it yet? Don't do it yet. Do it till after the combine. Do it till the picks on the clock.
When everybody when the rookie hype is through the roof, that's when you do it. Yeah. I just think that if you're in rebuild mode, like legitimate, like this team sucks, it is better to trade off the pick and get Kenny Golladay plus than to take a risk on a rookie wide receiver as much as I like Harry. So it's not that I disparage Harry. It's just that I feel like the perceived value of the 101 is a lot more than Harry.
Also, my only fear is if Golladay keeps getting targeted like this, he's also going to be worth more than the 101.
I completely agree with that. I mean, he's starting to take off. There's no Tate. Marvin Jones is hurt and everything. So, yeah, I agree with you, Gunner, that
I just keep saying Golladay, but I'm just thinking about – I mean, right now you can get Cooper Kupp for 101. Easy.
Speaking of 101, you guys all see Dynasty Trade Calculator came out their update. Yeah, Saquon Barkley at 62.
Yeah.
And Gurley's at 58 value.
Hey.
Wow.
Saquon first.
If this tells you anything about the 101, though, I'll leave it alone, I would rather have Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah.
And that may
I would too.
Wait,
yeah.
you mean you'd rather have Cooper Kupp over the 101?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
That you could get Cooper Kupp. For 101, you could probably get Cooper Kupp plus with injury at this moment. Because the whole entire injury. Yeah. And that's the thing is, and that's the thing, you all got to realize that when's the right time to trade? Like right now, Cooper Kupp, you could probably get him for way cheaper than you could have, of course, when he was playing. But if you're going to do 101 for that, you could get, Cooper Kupp plus a little bit extra
when he
for
was playing,
that
101. I bought him for 2 firsts. Now, one was a mid, one was a late, but I bought him for 2 firsts. But
he's there, Adam Thielen. I would not be shocked if Cooper Kupp is top 20 overall player in Dynasty in 2 years.
Whoa! Wow!
I would not be shocked.
Oh, bro!
But that's what I go to there, and that's where you're saying I disagree. It's not that I don't want Harry. It's just the 101 perceived value. That's the point. Is that the 101 can get me Cooper Kupp.
I'm so glad we got there. We finally connected.
I know. Look, and here's the thing. A lot of people think that I'm in rebuild, so that means I need picks. That's not true at all. You can totally rebuild with solid young players.
Yeah. Tyler B, were you talking to us?
I was talking about what? No, I gotta real quick. I have a guest on my side. So here we go, real quick. Eli, here you go.
Man,
plug it in.
Premium.
Probably the youngest guest on Open Bar.
Yeah.
Is it legal? Is it okay for him to be here?
This is a bar, right?
We got to check his ID.
No.
He's with me. He's with me.
He's older than Jake Anderson's daughter, so definitely he's welcome because she was the first. She was the pioneer. Eli, what up?
Hey guys.
Eli.
Hey, what's up, man?
My dude.
What's going on?
Tell us something good.
So, do you ever
I
call your
don't
dad
know.
Grandpa?
All right, I gotta ask you, like, what's
Also,
your
does
favorite-
he actually say Jeepers?
Yeah.
Like, in
Does he
real
actually
life?
have? Does he actually have Weathers caramels? Like
Yeah.
all the
Gee,
time.
Go for it.
What? All right, Eli. So, what's your favorite? What's your favorite player? What's your favorite fantasy player? Who's your guy? Everybody has their guy. Who's your guy?
Antonio Brown.
Now, why is that?
How
I
original.
like the Steelers.
Oh,
Steelers
okay.
fan.
Now I just feel bad.
That makes a lot of sense. What,
You should-
Tyler?
What are Eli? What are your thoughts on the whole Le'Veon Bell situation? Then, what are you satisfied
I
with
think they
Connor?
should get
You
rid
think
of him.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
done.
Yeah.
Connor's doing so well. They just got to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just get
All
the
right.
broom and
Juju.
sweep him out.
How about Juju? Let's. When is Juju gonna take over Antonio Brown as your favorite player?
Like week 4 he did.
Like,
Sorry.
I don't know.
like
probably
bar mitzvah time?
Mazel tov.
Now, yeah, but before y'all get Tyler in trouble with CPS, and they come take young Eli away from him. Eli, give us your spiciest take. What's gonna happen the rest of this year that's gonna leave us in awe?
Super Bowl prediction. Give him
Yeah,
some-
who's winning that
Um,
Super Bowl?
Rams over the Chiefs.
There it is.
Ooh.
You heard it here first.
Is it gonna be how many points? 105? Is that what they scored?
Could you
Yeah, we're going
believe
for the
that?
Is it gonna be
Oh,
105 again, or is it more?
More.
Yeah.
More. That's even bolder right there.
That's what's up. Hey, Eli, thanks for
Who
joining
do
us,
you-
little man.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, sir.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
On that note, you guys, I actually have to head out.
Sadly, golly, we've only got a few minutes left, Gabe.
Hey, put those scrubs back on.
Whoa.
Yes, bro.
Go-
I don't want no scrubs.
No,
I like
no.
how J Mike is acting like
DLC.
we're about to wrap this up in a few minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
right.
know. We try. We try. Gunther, before you leave, anything you need to get
Yeah.
off your chest? Say it with your chest.
I don't know if that's the time
I
or
would
the place
just,
for this, J. Mike.
No, thanks guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. I know it was probably a pain in the butt to ask me because nobody wants this guy on.
We
I mean,
want
how
all
many
Tylers.
people in
We
the chat you
accept
guys got? Like 5?
Maybe.
I'm just here to destroy your podcast.
all. Watch it burn.
But no, thanks guys. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys all have a good Christmas coming up. Even you, Tyler Gee.
What do you mean? This is like garbage.
Thanks,
Y'all
Gunter.
share each other's PSN. Okay, don't act like y'all aren't
We
tight.
have to keep the TG too strong. Okay.
TG2.
Looking shaky, baby. Looking shaky.
See you guys.
What about
Peace.
parents gonna think?
Gee, you're a mess. Oh,
I made the unfortunate mistake of drinking whiskey.
yeah, hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. Is someone still in awe about Cooper Cup? Is that what's going on?
I just what? Oh,
The man was
Dude.
like wide receiver 3 before
Yeah.
he went down.
Dude,
Why don't you like Cooper Cup, Gabe?
Let's talk about it.
respect for Brandon Cooks, I think, is my issue. And
Can't
and
they
Rob-
all perform?
fine? You know, he's the real number one, I guess. There and
We all can't have fun.
what 26, 27 maybe. Like he'll be around. I understand that Cup's young and doing his thing. Well, not really. He's old actually. But I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. The 101 for Cooper. No, give this wide receiver class is great, man.
On
Wait a minute.
IR, he is wide receiver 26.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Gabe,
I mean,
what if Harry ends up in Buffalo? You still high on Harry at 101?
Yeah,
Sauce.
Yuck.
yeah.
Yuck.
Oh.
What has Buffalo like for me? Landing spots, and I think that's obvious for everyone. Landing spots matter. But-
Overrated. Like yes, it matters, but I mean, we can say that about any player that has turned it around or, has fallen, but I don't think it was necessarily because of their landing spot. I mean, Laquan Treadwell, was that his landing spot or was that Laquan Treadwell?
If
A
Treadwell,
little bit of both.
I was like, if he's somewhere where he doesn't have 2 top 15 wide receivers in front of him, you don't
That
think
we
he
didn't
produces?
know about at that time.
Well, we knew Diggs was up there, and Thielen had produced.
I don't know about top 15, but yeah, Thielen certainly came out.
But okay. Let's play a fun game. Okay, outside of the draft of OBJ and Sammy Watkins and et cetera, Mike Evans, name a wide receiver you would trade for Cooper Kupp that's been drafted. Corey Davis.
I want Corey Davis more than Cooper Kupp.
Give me Cup. I want Cup.
I'll take Cup too.
Easy.
I'll take CD.
I think a lot.
In the
I think
great
for
words
Cup,
of Beyonce, slay my name, slay my name. There is no way I would take Corey Davis over Cooper Kupp right now. No way.
Why did Gunther left? Gunther and I got introduced on Twitter fighting over Corey Davis and how I disdained Corey Davis, and Gunther loved him. He left at the wrong time.
Listen, I get it.
I will take competition over Kupp. I will take Corey Davis over Kupp. I will take Allen Robinson over Kupp. I will take DJ Moore over Kupp. I will take
You will take Allen Robinson over Kupp? I'm a Bears fan, and I still will pitch Allen Robinson over Cooper Kupp in a hot second. Send the trade right now. Actually, let's make a league right now, and I will gladly accept that trade mid-draft.
I will take Kupp over Marvin Jones. There you go.
Over Marvin freaking Jones?
Yep, you're welcome.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, but I am for real, and that is not going to happen.
The problem is that you're using a golden calculator to divide, Tyler. That's the problem, my man.
And
I just don't understand how you look at 30.
Okay. J-Mike.
I'm just baffled.
No, I was just going to throw it out there. So in points per game, Cooper Kupp is 15th.
And also keep in mind too. Let's look at this stat too. Is that when you're talking about that, you also are talking about games that he got hurt. So in week 6, he got hurt, got 1.2 points. He obviously didn't play against Green Bay in week 8, so he had 0 points. And then Seattle, he had 8.9 points. But let me read off the totals for games that he played in full in PPR: 17.8, 12.3, 16.8, 37.2, and 19.9. Those were the games that he played in full.
You missed the New Orleans game.
I guess I'm not even
19.9.
No, another huge week. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Cooper Kupp.
So
yeah,
his floor, his average, his floor of that 1.2 that is indicated into average was also the week that he got hurt. The 0 that he enticed into Green Bay is also a week that he got hurt. So if you actually take away any of the weeks that he did not get hurt, let's just take the weeks that he did not get hurt. His floor is 12. Yeah. His floor, because injury is totally predictable. And 12.3, and his ceiling is 37.2. Like Corey Davis has.
This season.
Okay, I'm just curious. I'm curious if it's. I understand. I'm all right with Kupp. I think he's good. I think he's a good football player. I'm just curious about the Rams' offense. Is it sustainable? We have Todd Gurley. We have Brandon Cooks. We have Robert Woods. Robert Woods is. I'm echoing, and I don't like it.
Which one of you turns is it? Gee, that's you. That's you.
I got headsets on. Ain't no way I'm echoing.
I don't know.
Yo.
I don't know.
Microphone check.
Is it you, Gabe?
But I mean, but my point is, and I understand what you're saying. I get it. But my point is I don't like to have the whole takeaway game either, because I don't like to sit here and say, well, if you take away this game, I'm not taking away games. I'm taking away injuries. Okay, if the guy played in his fullest, and I think that that's fine because injuries are unpredictable. Cooper Kupp didn't wake up that morning and say, "I'm going to get injured." That's not what happened. And I mean, if you talk about Corey Davis, he was not injured and throws up plenty of goose eggs. That happens. And Marcus Mariota is not, I don't think he's a Titan next year. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think they keep him. So you want to talk about variables as far as the Rams and et cetera, et cetera. That was the one that floored me was Corey Davis. No way in God's green beautiful earth I would take Corey Davis over Cup.
I think two things.
I guess my point is with that. I'm sorry to interrupt whoever I just interrupted. I can't handle this echo right now.
Gee, do you have YouTube up?
No.
Because your face keeps popping up on my screen when you're not talking. I'm blaming you.
Blame me, baby. Blame me.
Blame it on the rain.
Blame it on the alcohol. That's not me. That's a famous philosopher. Google.
My point is that when I said that I'd take Corey Davis over Cup.
Oh man.
I'm saying that you could probably sell Cup and get Corey Davis plus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you, Gabe. Very good point. Very good point.
I think two things have to happen. I think two things have to happen. I think Cup has to move from a 3 to a 2, whether it's on the Rams or some other team. And I think Corey Davis just needs a better quarterback. And then I think you could probably equal them out. But I think for now, give me Cup any day. Even if he stays at 3. But he needs to move on. He needs to move on and be a 2, and then he'll be even better. He'll be like the next Thielen, Amendola, Edelman.
He's not going anywhere, though.
No, I don't think he will. But, I mean, to get that 101 pick that we were talking about originally, I mean, then I could see it happening. But Corey Davis just needs a better quarterback. I mean, he needs to get out of Tennessee, or Tennessee needs to bring someone else in.
I don't think 26 years is old at all either, but Robert Woods is only 27 as well and is out producing Cup, and Cooks is there younger than both of them. So, and Todd Gurley there, the sustainability to have 2 top 24 wide receivers is difficult enough. To have 3, I don't know.
Bro, wait. In points per game, they're back to back.
Right.
Points per game,
It's
they're back
insane.
to back.
It's hard. That's really hard.
Cup Woods Cooks. It's back to back in points per game. That's insane. PPR, that is.
Apologies, Tyler Gee. I did mute you, so if you want to come back in, you'll have to unmute yourself. But it appears
the echo has gone away.
The echo problem.
Weird. I have no idea why it's me, because I literally have headphones in. So how that's happening, I don't know. But so that's fine. We cannot look at this year. Let's look at last year. Week 16, 16.5. And keep in mind, this is PPR. 16.5, 4.1, 22.8, 11.8, 19.6, 10.4, 10.7, 8.4, and 15.1. Yeah, that sounds like a guy I don't want at all.
No, it's established that he's good.
I know, but what I'm
Nobody said he's bad.
Yeah, it's too much sauce. I'm sorry, Tyler.
Okay, what I'm saying is, and I'll let you all mute me afterwards. What I'm saying is that Cooper Kupp, okay, Cooper Kupp has more points on just a handful of games than Corey Davis has in his career.
Oh,
how do you just? I mean, take last year. I'm just trying to figure out like the hopes and dreams of Corey Davis here. Like I'm not against Corey Davis. I think he's a fine wide receiver, but I'm just blown away.
The production argument is not like that's. I don't think that's something that anybody who would choose Corey Davis over Cooper Kupp moving forward is going to argue with. Like that's not a question to this point. I think the only question becomes if I'm envisioning, at least for me, just when I think about this and at a very base level, when I think about the peak of both players, like who's the guy that I could see cracking the ceiling on like top 5 wide receiver in the league type of deal. I don't necessarily see Cooper Kupp doing that. I can envision Corey Davis doing that. Obviously, the offense would have to be functional, Mariota or whomever, like all those things. That makes total sense. All those things have to work. But even in a short sample size with someone like Amari Cooper, who we've seen, I think that he and Corey Davis have a lot more in common than not in terms of just the inconsistencies and the question mark at quarterbacks and the offenses, blah, blah, blah. But when you see the heights of one Amari Cooper in these weeks where he's with Dallas, like you're like, oh yeah, that guy's really good at football when like they're focused and he's actually can do work. So I just don't see Cooper Kupp's awesome. He's fantastic. He's super producer. Probably will end up as a top 18 wide receiver this year on points per game. All that stuff is good. But I just don't see him cracking the ceiling and being like, hey man, I'm running out this guy as my wide receiver one every week. Even though I know Corey Davis isn't doing that right now, I'm saying I can see him doing that. I could see that. I could see that.
Okay, and I'll once again I'll mute once I get that. But the point is up to week 5 or 6 when Cooper Kupp was healthy, he was a top 5 wide receiver. That was real. It was happening. And I mean, until the injury, he was.
So Robert Woods regressed back. Yeah.
Okay, he still was. I mean, you can't take away what he was, and then you also take in the fact that I think this is the point is agree that you could take for Kupp before the injury and get him for Corey Davis plus, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that trade.
Right.
But if I saw in my league Corey Davis for Cooper Kupp straight across, I'm going to be like, man, someone got robbed, and before injury. Keep in mind.
And that's what I mean. I was going at players that were below his ADP, so I'm saying that you can sell Kupp and you can get Corey Davis plus. You can get whatever you're into. Calvin Ridley a lot plus probably.
I'm game with that. That I'm completely fine with that. If you can turn Cooper Kupp into, I don't know, James White and Corey Davis, cool. Whatever. I'm game with that. I think that's fine. It was just the fact that, like, when you said he would take Corey Davis over Cooper Kupp, I was like, I'm out. Like, I was like, add it on, sure. But for me personally, if I'm on the clock, that's what I think about a lot of times when I'm when I'm doing trades, I think, okay, if I'm drafting, would I draft Corey Davis above Cooper Kupp? Like, this is a startup, brand new league. You started today. You're on the clock. Both are on the board. Who you clicking? And that's just something to think about. Just for people listening. I mean, I talk about this on our podcast. Is you're on the clock. Who you taking? I mean, I saw Jerick McKinnon for Gus Edwards today in a dynasty league, and I was sitting there staring at it like, okay, you're on the clock. It's a brand new dynasty league. Are you clicking that Gus Edwards before Jerick McKinnon? I don't know. That's a.
Did you say yes? Like, you made that trade?
Not me. It was in a league. It was just in a league. You get the little emails like, hey, a trade has been completed. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I wanted to check it out. See, I'm in the playoffs for this league. And so I want to kind of see, like, who's getting what. Yeah, I'm not a big Jerick McKinnon fan. I lean the Jerick McKinnon side out of all those. But
yeah.
Just a reference, a frame of mind for people that are playing Dynasty. I think that's this interesting is think of, okay, if I'm drafting, would this happen? Would I draft Jerick McKinnon or Gus Edwards first?
I think
the same thing with Cooper Kupp and Corey Davis.
I think most people here play Dynasty, except for Tyler, old man Tyler, who doesn't play Dynasty anymore.
One league.
Like that's an easy trade. I'll take McKinnon. I'll take that gamble. And I don't know. I like Kupp. I'm not going to go back to that. I'll let the Kupp Davis argument die. But like I see both sides. I would rather have Kupp than Davis. I agree that you could flip Kupp for before injury Davis plus, and that would be the right way to spin it. In one league that I'm in, after Kupp got hurt, I saw Kupp and likely 101, 102 flipped for Stephon Diggs.
Steph Diggs. Spicy.
As far as like the whole draft, like on the clock thing, I just don't think like I just wouldn't draft. I just like the ADP is too high for me still. I don't agree with it. So that's right. I'd rather have Cooper and I don't know. I'd rather have Woods than Cup.
Man.
Someone brought up Ridley over Davis and Davis. I'd rather have Ridley. I like the quarterback. I like the offense he's in. I don't know. That's just me. I don't like Davis. I'll take Allen Robinson over Davis. I'd take, unfortunately, Amari Cooper over Davis. I don't like Davis. I don't like the offense he's in. I don't like Mariota. But that's just me.
And this, shame on us. We didn't get to any of the injuries, which I feel like have just really put a damper on everything moving forward. Pouring one out for my main man Melly Gordon. I don't have anything left in my drink. Melvin Gordon getting hurt really makes me sad, like really badly, because I still feel like he was on his way. I had said before the year I thought he'd be like the RB1, and he wasn't necessarily like there in points per game, but he was cooking this year, which makes me sad. But with that being said, who are guys or are there players, for those that if you still have your trade windows open, who are guys right now that you feel like, man, if I add him to my team, like, let's go, title run, let's do this? Because I feel like there's a lot of room for, if you don't have trade deadlines right now in a lot of leagues, and I feel like a lot of my leagues don't have trade deadlines, or maybe they are in just week 13, perhaps, I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot of room right now to still improve your rosters for this stretch run. Are there any guys that you're either particularly low on or what?
I talked about this the last podcast, and I know that Tyler just talked about it. All right, you get your mittens, get them hot, get them warmed up.
Oh, snap. If you say Jordan
I like
Howard,
Amari
I'm
Cooper.
walking on.
No, I like Amari Cooper. I do. I think he has a fantastic schedule coming up. He's playing a lot of really good teams that are really bad against the pass catchers. And the guy in the last 4 weeks has, I think I talked about it in our last podcast, is 6th overall in his last 4 games for red zone targets. At 7, has had 7 red zone targets. The guy is still perceived as a can we trust him wide receiver right now in average points per game since the last 4. He is number 14 for average points per game in his last 4 games. Now I know it's a small sample size, I get that, but when you're talking about making a playoff run, you got it. I mean, you got to risk it for the biscuit. And, I think that he is worth the risk when you start talking about last 4 games and Dak Prescott and the Cowboys making that push. I mean, they are not one of those teams that can just sit by and just rest their starters. That's not an option. They're going to be playing hard, and I really like Amari Cooper. I actually sent Jordan Howard for Amari Cooper, hoping that somebody was stupid enough to take that a trade in a redraft league. It's a work league, so who knows? But just stuff like that. I mean, I'm pushing to get Amari Cooper, and I'm willing to change that trade to try to get Amari Cooper, because I think as a wide receiver 2, because that's what he would be for you if you had him on your team. As a wide receiver 2, he is fantastic. I mean, just being honest, he is a fantastic grab right now, and I know that's not what people want to hear, and I know that he's let you down. He's hurt you. I get it, but and that may be hot, but I like it.
I think it's not that hot. Dallas has got the 4th easiest wide receiver schedule, the 1st easiest quarterback schedule during the playoffs. I like the take. I think it fits kind of what the question was as a buy low. On that, I would go, if you need a quarterback, you could probably get Dak cheap. Not that he should be super expensive, but that's another buy low kind of guy. Mike Davis, whoever you want in Seattle. If you like Seattle running backs, Seattle's got an easy playoff schedule. If you're looking at schedules, Minnesota, if you get Cook after a couple bad games, he's probably a lot cheaper than what he was. They've got the third or fourth easiest schedule coming up for the playoffs. Well, I mean, I know he comes with pedigree, but Cook owners are probably a little upset with what he's done the last few weeks, all the hype and just injuries. That'd be a guy that I'd target. I got him week like 2 or 3 for a couple first-round picks from a team that was obviously doing a rebuild, and I would still pay that price now just because I believe in the talent and the schedule looks nice.
I like Njoku. Mayfield's heating up a little bit. You know, they actually got the ball moving in Cleveland. If you can get him,
they play Cincinnati for Devil's Advocate real fast.
Well, yeah, they also play Cincinnati week 16 too, so that may help you in championship game. So
you're right. You're exactly right.
So I like him. If you can get Njoku, go for it. That'd be my one take. Yeah.
I'll add on. Sorry, I'll add on Larry Fitz. Larry Fitz started off not great. Last 4 games, though, averaging 11.9 points. I talked about this on the podcast too. I said, a lot of people have been tweeting at us and said, "Hey, do I play Larry Fitzgerald or this random wide receiver?" And I've been on the boat of Larry Fitz. He is not great. I'm not saying he's a wide receiver 1, but you can get him for flex price. And he has been kind of a wide receiver 2. Right now, he is ranked 19th, the 19th best wide receiver in average points per game in the last 4 games. So, I know I don't like to play the fun game, but I think we also have to start talking about that you can't just look at the season as a whole. You have to start looking at who's heating up and who's starting to do it. Look, Keenan Allen last year. Keenan Allen won championships last year because of the last 4 or 5 games. He was on fire. If you would have bought Keenan Allen at the midseason, you may have won your championship. So I think that you can't just look at the whole picture. Sometimes you have to look at the last 4 or 5 games. Although it's a small sample size, that's where you find your value.
I thought Todd Gurley was on every championship roster last year. Isn't that how it worked out? Like I ran into that buzzsaw in multiple leagues.
Yes. He made a lot of people eat it. It was not good.
Well, when somebody scores 50 points a game,
Yeah.
And I love Todd Gurley, but realistically, him scoring 50 points in both week 15 and 16, I think is pretty unlikely. I think that 20 to 30, very much on the wheelhouse. But so I'm just giving you some advice. When you start talking about whatever, I think that 5 to 10 points when you're talking about playoffs can make a huge difference. Yeah. I mean, you're playing against people that are really good. They have a good team. This is not just a guy that just fumbled in. This is a guy that has a good team. And when you start talking about getting Larry Fitzgerald for nothing, and then him being a great flex play, if you talk about some of the guys you all have talked about, I just think that that's how you win your fantasy championships, especially redraft.
The Aaron, shout out to Aaron in the chat as well, and everybody else who's joined us in the chat. Jesse Reeves was cracking. Peter Howard, I'm not sure if I shouted him out earlier. The Tim McIntosh, what's up? And Chris Allen, the Dynasty Owner's Manual himself. Well, one half anyway. What's up, man?
Did you see that he deep fried a turkey on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, he's the man.
That's pretty sweet.
He's the man. He lives the life I aspire to live. He is the man that I aspire to be.
I know, right?
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man. Period. Aaron said Ebron's definitely worth a look. Just real quick, if you guys had to guess where Eric Ebron is in tight end points per game, where would you guess him to be in PPR?
Top 3.
No, I need you to give me a definitive. Like, where do you think he is?
2.
Like, what do you guys think?
That's a little high, but 2. I'll stay with it.
It's 5. It's 5.
Any other guesses? Number 3.
See.
Let
me say top 3.
No, you can't get away with those generalizations.
Yeah.
Eric Ebron, yeah. I mean, and with little baby hands, Jack Doyle. Shout out to the footballers, who I don't even know. I don't know why I'm shouting them out. I mean, they're fantastic. I love their work, but I don't know them. but
you're listening, ballers.
Yeah, you're listening. They obviously Eric Ebron's been catching the heck out of some touchdowns. It's absurd. But also Gabe, I don't know if you noticed this, but we were having this same conversation. I think it was this time last year with Adam Thielen, and we were like, man, he's hovering around like wide receiver 1 in production this year. Like, man, what's going on? And then like kind of tailed off toward the end or whatever. And like literally here we are again around the exact same time of the year, and he's wide receiver 1 again.
I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, he's the.
Thielen's my boy. He always has been.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It really is.
I mean, I bought Adam Thielen 2 or 3 years ago for seconds. Good that tells you how much he's my boy.
Good on you.
I own him in like every league. and if I don't own him, it's because I traded him for like stupid, like Nick Chubb, Kenny Galladay in a first, or just something like it was just obscene. So like when I asked Eli like who his boy was, Adam Thielen's my boy. I'm telling you, I'm a Bears fan, and if he sent me some signed pair of gloves, I swear I'd have them things framed. Like I don't care. I'm a Bears fan. I'd sit there. I'd sleep in them.
Oh, this is a great jumping off point. I wanted to go somewhere else, but this will be good. And I'm not sure how much longer we can go without being completely irresponsible, but we'll see how it goes. Guy, this is for you, and I need a short answer because I want everyone else to get in on this. Before the season, we had a little bit of Jordan Howard versus Jerick McKinnon, and obviously that's just been disappointing on all sides, right? McKinnon gets hurt. Howard's been useful at moments this year. As a Bears fan, what is your outlook on Howard moving forward? Like specifically in Dynasty, I don't think you can sell him for much, but are you willing to I guess you have to hold him, but like where do you see him right now in the Bears, I guess moving forward, that offense moving forward, because it doesn't look great at all.
I mean, you hit it. You hit it right on the head. I mean, you can't sell him. I mean, what you have in Jordan Howard, you can't sell him. And I mean, I feel like I've just dominated this whole podcast, but you can't sell him.
No, I'm saying. Go for it.
But I mean, you can't sell him. I mean, what you had, and everything else between. I still believe in Jordan Howard and the fact that I think he is a good running back. Here's what I don't think, though. I don't think that Jordan Howard fits Matt Nagy's system. And I mean, and that was a risk going into this season. I mean, plain and simple. I mean, Jordan Howard, let's just talk about it. He's catching a ball when it comes at him. I mean, for the most part, if it is on target, he is catching it. He looks like a fine running back, et cetera, but he does not fit Matt Nagy's system. And I would much rather hold on to him, hope that there's some kind of outlandish trade that he gets traded to the Colts or to something crazy, and you profit. I mean, right now, I saw in my Dynasty League Jordan Howard, and the guy was offering me a second.
And what'd you do with that?
I was just like, yeah, and I mean, and I saw the trade, and I was like, he's right. He is completely on point for what Jordan Howard is right now. He's not wrong.
Right now,
but you just can't do that. You just can't do that. Yeah.
But I just can't do it. And I mean, I know Tyler B was talking about it a little bit. He knows my love for Jordan Howard. I still think Jordan Howard's a great running back. Same way I think that Royce Freeman's a great running back. But I think that it just doesn't fit the system of what they're trying to do. And so I'm going to hold, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to pray, and it may not happen. But at the same time, I've seen Jordan Howard be the number 2 rusher in the NFL. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. And so I think that if he can have the option, but I mean, it's unfortunate. I put my chips on the wrong player. That happens, as much as Adam Thielen's my boy, and I put my chips on the right player there. Yep. I think as a fantasy analyst, you got to man up and you got to admit, hey, I was wrong. It just didn't work out. And I think the same way happened with Jordan Howard. I mean, it didn't work out. Right now, he is running back like 30, 28 in PPR. Those types of things. I mean, he is a flex play at best. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be one of those analysts just like, well, the coach is just – no. I mean, he doesn't fit this thing. Tariq Cohen is a higher prospect. I actually have both in most of my dynasty leagues, thinking that Tariq Cohen was the handcuff. And I actually played Tariq Cohen above Jordan Howard. And it just is what it is. But, I mean,
That was my next question. Who would you have between those two? Because they're right next to each other in ADP. Looks like.
I mean, it just depends. I mean, I think I would honestly go Tariq Cohen just because of I feel like I can play Tariq Cohen, and I feel like he's kind of like a Duke Johnson light in the fact that he's a sneaky play that doesn't get the respect that he should, where Jordan Howard has the name, and so I think Tariq Cohen has more of what Matt Nagy is looking for. And that's fine. I think that's good. But I think Jordan Howard, if he goes somewhere, could be something. He reminds me a lot of if a year or two from now he goes somewhere, he could be surprising. And I'm not willing to give up a second unless it's a full rebuild. And that's where I'm at. I mean, it sucks. You put your chips on the wrong player. It happens. I mean, I own Jordan Howard a lot of different places.
Well,
but on the same thing, I own Adam Thielen. So. And I own Cohen in a lot of those leagues because I thought Cohen was the backup. So it doesn't hurt me as much because I go, well, all right, well, just play Cohen, I guess.
I mean, Cohen is of sorts a backup, I guess. He's not going to have a lead role anytime soon, but he's going to be involved in the offense no matter what. And the difference between him and Duke, what's interesting is Duke had that huge RB1 year because the Browns were really bad and they were playing catch up a whole lot, and he was getting a lot of dump offs. And yeah, he had a great season, but like the Bears are having a great season, and so is Tariq Cohen. So I mean, is he more so like closer to like Alvin Kamara? I mean, not that high, but like versus Duke Johnson.
I think that's a fair comparison. I think that you've got like an Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram situation, but all light.
Yeah,
like 100%
light.
watered down.
Yeah.
Very light. So 100%. I mean,
did you say 100% watered down?
Oh, baby.
So is that
100%.
Is that water? Is it just water at this point?
H2O to the max.
That's some high quality H2O.
That's some high quality. No, I mean, but a lot of people don't know this too. But Tariq Cohen's still a running back too. I mean, he is. I think he is going to be one of those players like Duke Johnson. That in a year you go, he finished where? Like you go, where? Where did he finish? Even though the Bears are doing well, I think that they want to run through the air. That's the way Matt Nagy wants to run the system, and that's unpredictable. I've never seen Matt Nagy head coach.
Imagine that.
What you gonna do? I mean, as a Bears fan, I love what we're doing. I love the defensive approach. I love that we're leading the NFC. I love all of that, but because of it, Jordan Howard, RIP, pour out some for our fallen homies. I mean, that happens.
He's still got 1 year left. We'll see what happens in the second year of the Nagy offense. Maybe they'll find ways to kind of work it out. I think that he's certainly creative enough to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, but J. Mike has hit it right on the head. I don't know how much more you can say. Is if you own them, why sell them?
Yep,
you're getting dirt for them. I mean, I don't understand the point. Hold on to him. Hope something happens. Hope he gets traded. Hope Nagy decides to do things different.
This kind of feels like Summer of Kai, but Jordan Howard style, J. Mike. Like that was sad as shit, bro. Gee, we're here for you, brother.
Yeah, no doubt. What's really sad?
Tyler mentioned trading Howard, but who are you going to bring in? I mean, a rookie's not going to take over Howard. I actually ran a poll this morning asking about, because it's been the talk of the town the last couple of days, what's going to happen with Jordan Howard? Are you going to trade him? You're going to trade him for picks? Just drop him straight up? But who are you going to bring in? Tevin Coleman's can't carry a full load. Cohen can't. I put in the poll, sign Bell. I don't know what the salary cap is, but bring in Bell if you're going to drop Howard. But as far as fantasy, keep him until you find out where he's going to go. Is he going to stay? Is he going to leave?
He has 1 more year. They're not paying him.
No, yeah.
They're not.
No extension.
Why would they pay him? So I mean, suffer through another year. I mean, and realistically, the chances of a second round rookie pick hitting is what? I mean, let's be honest. What person in the second round you drafted, you were like, oh, yeah. I mean,
Philip Lindsay.
Sure, you drafted him in the second.
If I'm like Tennessee, but if I'm Tennessee or Indianapolis, I'm thinking, okay, let's trade for Howard now. I mean, yeah, Tennessee has Derrick Henry and Deion Lewis, but Lewis is old. He's done. Henry, that experiment's done. He's a waste. He's horrible.
I keep thinking about, like, what if the Colts trade for Howard and the Bears not having many picks, being that we just traded for Khalil Mack, is like fine. You know, I mean, I just feel like we also got Ben Cunningham, which is fine, and the amount of carries that whoever is getting, I mean, Jordan Howard's getting is not enough. I think Ben Cunningham could handle that load. That's my point. Is that, you know, I just feel like there's more upside with Jordan Howard sitting on my bench, which, by the way, he is.
Oh, sure.
Make no doubt, than there is with the second round rookie pick that I would get for him right now.
What team were we just mentioning? The Bears are not going to be able to afford Bell. I don't.
Yeah, I didn't know the salary cap. I'm just saying. If you're going to replace Howard, you got to replace him with something. You got to replace him with something.
We ain't got no money. Khalil Mack ate all of it, but that's okay. That big, beautiful man can take all the money he wants.
One may say he's a bear.
Okay.
Here we go.
He's a Chicago Bear. He's a Chicago Bear.
Oh yeah. Nice save. There's so many things to try to chop up. We probably got to go though. We've been going. Real quick though. And again, these need to be quick, but I do want everybody to speak up real quick. Nyheim Hines or Justin Jackson? You buying into either one of those guys rest of the season?
Hines.
Nope.
No.
Anybody? Nope.
I mean, if I had to
I'm
pick
buying
one,
the
I'd pick
Hines,
Hines,
but out of
So Tyler's buying Hines. Renshaw, no thanks. Pulaski, no thanks. Gabe?
I guess you could see what happens with Mack and the concussion. Hines is very involved in the passing game. He's getting that work for sure. He's by no means a horse. I'd like to see Justin Jackson a little bit.
All right.
I think. Sorry, real quick. I mean, bye weeks are done. I mean, you're playing your studs now. So no.
But you just might have just lost. I mean, you just lost Melvin Gordon though. Like, what do you do? Like,
well, yeah.
You just lost
you
just lost your stud. So you got to swing on Hines or Jackson if maybe might have to.
Desperation plays maybe.
Yeah.
Tim McIntosh, he asked in the chat. He said, "Hey, he heard Amari has a playoff run by. Did anybody else offer up a take? I don't remember anybody else saying like, hey, check this person out." This is going to sound really crazy, and I don't trust it, but I think this player just showed us what he can do, at least in a nice amount of carries. If there's any way that you can get Philip Lindsay on your team, do it. Do it. Philip Lindsay obviously has been shockingly good. But even on top of all that, I'm not sure if you guys have seen Denver's schedule coming up. But, man, that thing is juicy. In case you didn't know, they've got Cincinnati coming up. After that, San Francisco. After that, Cleveland. And for championship week, he travels to Oakland. Philip.
Baby.
Go.
That thing is dripping. It's just nasty. That whole schedule.
I couldn't tell what you were talking about until you said schedule. Thank goodness you finished your sentence.
Oh man.
Why else did you bring me on here?
Tim. Tim said he turned down a Lindsay for Hyde trade in week 2. That's a bummer.
I was just looking at their ADP. Looks like Royce Freeman and Philip Lindsay are on the same page. I can fit them on the same, whatever that's called. 60 overall for Freeman, 68 for Lindsay.
The Peter Howard threw this out there. Is MVS no longer good? Was he the quickest burning brightest star ever? Anybody still care for MVS?
Was he ever good?
I think we care about the other acronym at this point in ESB.
Hey, I think MVS was really good when he was running past. What was it, Devin McCourty? Often that game when he was just running by him over and over.
Yeah,
he was really good at that. He was really good at that.
Maybe I'll send my tapes to the Packers. The Saints didn't want me. I'll try out for the Packers. Can't do any worse. Can't do any worse.
I'll say this. I'm fine with trading for MVS and Dynasty. I think buying low. I'm not going to pay a lot for him, but I think.
Yeah. What's the price tag?
I think
third?
it's just silly not to see a flash on the pan and just ignore it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's on my high buy list, but I think that you all are sitting here saying, well, is he just done? Was he just whatever? There's other owners like that, and if I can add him onto a trade, if I can get him for a third or just something silly, if I can trade a second for him and a third, I think that's worth the notion. I mean, because at the end of the day, the Green Bay Packers don't have a whole lot of money to pay anybody else. Let's be honest. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe they draft a wide receiver and MVS becomes irrelevant, but I can't sit here and say, well, 2 games on and then 2 games off. Well, now he's irrelevant. I don't know.
and I think that number 2 spot is up for grabs in Green Bay because I don't think it's next year. I don't think it's going to be Randall Cobb next year.
No, he's gone.
And so it seems like it's between at this point, between MVS and ESB. I don't know if Jamon Moore is. He struggled, in preseason and in camp and whatnot, and I haven't seen him all year. Like, has anyone?
What about Allison, Gabe?
Oh, right. Yeah. Whatever.
well,
No, give me Geronimo. I like
Geronimo. I think the other thing is too, though. Let's be honest. I don't think Mike McCarthy is there next year.
No.
The fact that we have this new phase of if you are not doing anything for me lately, you are fired. And I think this all started with the Sean McVay era, is that Jeff Fisher wasn't doing it, so let's fire him, and miraculous turnaround. And so you kind of see the same thing with the Bears, and I think it's this new era. And so under a new coach outside of Mike McCarthy, what happens with MSV? I don't know. And so I've seen him flash underneath a quote unquote bad coach. So what I want to say is don't write him off. I'm not going to sit here and say buy him. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he is the best wide receiver. I'm saying I would be willing to buy low. That is my point.
Aaron B offers up in the chat. Bruce Ellington hype. Are we buying in 2 straight weeks of 6 catches for the Detroit Lions? They've got the Rams this week.
Yeah, you have to now. Yeah, with Jones out, you got to pick up someone.
In redraft, yes. In dynasty, no.
Okay.
Yeah, that Ellington love's gone just too far over years. Of like, can he be the slot guy? I don't know. No thanks.
I think I kind of like Ellington.
Yeah.
And that's coming as someone who wasn't thrilled about him in general. But the opportunity right now, I think, in Detroit is nice, and the targets will be there because they keep throwing the ball a billion times. Even like in any game script, they're going to throw the ball. So that's interesting.
All right, so MSV or Ellington?
Ellington.
Dynasty redraft. I don't care which one.
I think
Does
Ellington.
it change the dynasty?
I just don't like MVS. Not that he's bad. I'm not.
No, I think it's a good question. That's why
I just haven't been swept up under the hype. And I'm not like, oh, he plays for Aaron Rodgers. Like, get him on my team. Like, that's not me either. But again, that's just me.
Where's everybody else's? I mean, I think it's a good question. There's a reason why.
Ellington, he just can't stay healthy. Like, has he ever had a healthy season? And
Nope.
and that's for me. That's the I don't trust him part. I mean, I'd go in dynasty. I'm gonna go on MVS just because I'll take the gamble on a young guy that can be healthy. And if they fire McCarthy, a new offensive minded coach, like there's upside there. Ellington after this year is probably irrelevant in Detroit.
And this is, I mean, he is only on contract for this year. Like I think he's okay for the rest of the season. He might have his games, but I'm going for the guy who's in tandem with Aaron Rodgers that has a chance to be the wide receiver 2 there. So MVS, I don't know, far and away for me.
Beautiful. That is,
and this goes back to just the perceived value. I mean, I think.
No. You're right. I think you're right. I think you're going to a good place because MVS's value definitely far and above Ellington. Like Ellington's probably dirt cheap, at least I would think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
True.
That's fair. Anything else, gents? I don't think anybody else said their buys for the end of the year. Real quick, I mean, anybody that you're like, hey, get him on your team. That'd be pretty nifty.
Didn't a
pretty
few people said it?
I think we nailed them.
I said Lindsey.
No, you didn't. I said Lindsey.
I brought up Lindsey. No. Tyler was talking about who you got in the
said
second round,
Lindsey.
and I said Lindsey. That's what it was.
Don't you take my spice? No, I'm kidding, Renshaw. All right, Gabe. I think we're out of bullets and out of time because we're back to our old ways for 2 weeks in a row. You weren't here.
I apologize.
Yeah, sloppy.
Not your fault. We just. I think we clowned for probably 25 minutes, and then by the time we got into it, it was like, oh, there's not much time left. But it was good. This was good.
Tyler's man.
We gotta do this again with the Tylers.
Yeah.
Massive show.
I'll find some Matts. We can have a Matt show.
Ooh.
Hey, I can join that one too. My first name's Matthew. Boom, nailed it.
Wait a minute.
You know what?
there's
Now we're
two
just gonna have.
Matthews in
Now we're
here?
just gonna have.
What?
Wait
You're
a
not
minute.
a true Tyler?
No.
No.
It's
Look
Matthew.
me in the eye.
So the show was really 2 Matthews and 2 Tylers. not 3 Tylers.
But it's Matthew Tyler Block.
The truth comes out. Wow.
I've been freaking
0.5
betrayed.
and 2.5.
I literally haven't been this devastated. Oh,
No, but I only go by Tyler. I won't answer to Matthew, so I can be on the show. I just won't talk as Matthew.
What they say on coming to
Tyler.
what they say on Coming to America about Cassius Clay and Muhammad Ali. His mama named Clay. I'm Clay. I'm call him Clay. His mama named him Matthew.
The boy,
I'm gonna call him
the
Matthew.
boy wants to be. If the boy wants to be called Muhammad, he has the right to be called Muhammad.
Such an underrated movie.
Great movie. He beat Joe Lewis's ass. Rocky Marciano. Joe Lewis was 137 years old.
He did, though. He did.
All right, I'm
You're
sorry.
gonna be Matthew this whole time. Pose around as a Tyler. Even your freaking Google Hangouts is Tyler. That's a lie.
It's really the Matthew.
Espionage. Wow. I'm
Yeah.
shocked. I don't know what it's
Wait till
called.
Tyler Gunslinger hears about this.
I'm sure he's watching from work.
Yeah, we're kicking him out of the club.
Is it
And you're pinning it in the
you,
mail.
J Mike, you said it. Shug T, Tyler, Matthew. Is that really any of my real names? Who knows?
Bro, you can't even be Suge T anymore. We gotta take that from you. It's
I
like
got the tattoo. I can show you the tattoo.
Suge M. Sugar. Give me some sugar. Sound like my grandma.
Jeepers.
Oh man.
That fits in because Tyler Matthew, whatever his name is the grandpa of the chat
That's right.
today. So
That's why I forget my name.
All right, so I gotta
Gabe,
ask,
get us out of here, Gabe.
who is the oldest person to be on the open bar?
Ooh.
I'm 37.
We know the
Oh,
Hmm.
well,
yeah, maybe.
I don't know how old Matt Waldman is, but maybe him. I don't know. I have no idea.
the elder statesman.
Get us out of here, Gabe.
Yeah, you know what? You ageist, okay, Tyler. We don't care. You know we.
I bring it. I still bring it. I tell it how it is. That's all that matters.
All right, you
Wait,
tell it how it is.
The guy who we just found out's name is Matthew tells it how it is. No.
right.
Sometimes.
That's worse than
You
like
tell it how
finding
it
out
is
Vader
sometimes.
is father.
Lies,
That's terrible.
lies. I haven't been this disgruntled until I heard about Tarad.
That was a tough one.
I
All
was
right.
devastated by that. I couldn't fall asleep at night.
Tyler, Matthew, say some short words. I feel like our intros were way too long. That's what happened, J Mike, a little bit. So move it along. What do you got to say? Say it.
Yeah, again, Tyler Belaski at Tyler Belaski on Twitter. Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips podcast on YouTube, exclusively on YouTube. And I write for AcrossTheFantasyPond.com. That's it.
Father and son, boy, it's never been dead.
That's right.
Tyler Gee. My one and only Echo. Start calling you Alexa. Hey, yo, Alexa.
From the ones and twos. No, I'm Tyler Gee from the Fantasy Football franchise.
Dun, 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 dun. Boom, boom, boom.
Gabe made a fantastic intro for us. You should listen to it.
Hey, did
And
you
then
put that
just
new one in?
stop the rest. No, I have not. That would take too much time and effort. No. Gabe sent us an email and was like, hey, by the way,
Yeah.
I made an intro and I realized that I sent you the rough draft. I didn't send you the real thing. And I was like, well, we have been using the rough draft for X amount of months now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's wrong to change it. And so we've just accepted it.
Okay. Organic. I got you. I can appreciate that.
Gabe, we put you in your purest form.
Yeah.
But
You know,
my name is Tyler Gee. Follow at F3Pod. That's it. The rest of our crap will come drizzling through. If you do.
Dripping. Yeah, you can't really tell a huge difference there, but I guess just for me, having recorded it several times, I know.
Okay, I'm sorry, Gabe. I'll change it now.
No. I appreciate the organic, non-GMO lifestyle that the F3 pod leads.
Break it out next year. Break it out for next season.
Ooh, I like where you're going with
Remix.
this,
It's a
Matthew.
remix.
I like where you're going with this, Matthew. That's nice.
Sounds like work for me.
But Gabe, we really do appreciate making the intro. We get so many compliments, and then we also get followed by love your intro, hate the fantasy advice, and we're like, all right,
Come for the
But no,
intro,
we
leave for the
real-
fantasy advice.
yeah. So yeah, check us out. We have a YouTube, we have a jazz and stuff. I don't know.
They got it all. It's a good pod. They got the video rolling up as well. And
Yeah, I mean, we're
from time to
basically a
time
demo.
they echo on other people's pods, but not their own. They will not do that to y'all.
Yeah, I mean, you could have had it all. Adele, got it. Move on.
The real Matthew.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. Only my mother calls me Matthew.
Yeah, sorry, that sounded weird coming off the tongue.
So I'm Renshaw, Dynasty Dads at Dynasty Dads. Got the weekly Dad Life podcast talking about fantasy football, and I start every show off with some kid stories. Twitter, my personal handle is Renshaw Fantasy. If you want to argue with me about Corey Davis, feel free. Tyler Gunther and I have already had that round. Yeah, so hit me up there.
Thank you for coming on, Renshaw, and apologies for whatever. Did we we're supposed to have you on? Didn't have you on? What happened there?
I had some stuff come up that we had to switch things around. So I'm glad you guys were able to fit me in on this Matthew and Tyler show.
I mean,
I feel so
from J Mike's profile, Mama said I'm unique, so I roll with it. You were unique on this podcast. We just had a bunch of Tylers, and a fake Tyler.
Fake Tyler.
So you were unique.
Get Eli back in here. We need to know the real truth. What's your name? What is your name? I just call him
your
Dad.
daddy's name?
What is my name?
Jeez. J Mike, say some things before you let Geese speak again.
Why do you all like
massive
me on?
Tyler, for the upteenth time, nothing but love for you. You shine so much fun in my world. I appreciate you. Yes, give me some. Oh yes, that's good. That's real good. The To everyone listening to this in podcast form, thank you. Very much appreciate you guys checking us out, getting your workout in with us, your commute to, probably from work to the grocery store. You probably got a lot of us in to do all that. So thank you for listening, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, the list goes on, even on Spotify. You can catch your boys here at the Open Bar on Spotify as well. Check us out there. If you would, rate, review us, share us with a friend. And even if you don't want to do any of those things, thank you so much for at least checking out this episode. Obviously, the live show on YouTube, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, as my man Gabe says, never late, always on time, always ending right at an hour. Always. It's our promise to you. It's the Open Bar guarantee. To everyone in the chat, thank you guys so much for the fodder, for the fun. Always appreciate this time. Again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Christmas right around the corner. Come on. Good stuff.
Hanukkah
to all my
next Monday.
Hey, turn up to all my teachers with all their breaks. Renshaw, Gee, Tyler, my wife, Shook T. You probably a teacher. I'm curious what your name is. What your students call you.
No, I'm not a teacher.
Yeah, whatever. I don't believe anything you say now.
I'm never coming back on. Sorry. I blew my chance. I'm done.
And a quick shout out, Tyler, real quick. This is for you, Belowski. Julie Bissonette, who I'm in the Pigs 3 league with, so shout out to Julie. Julie said that I think that you predicted her preseason 299, and I think she actually ended the year at 301. So that's another one that you got pretty close.
The scrolls have spoken.
The scrolls. All right, Gabe, take us home. Oh, sorry. On Twitter, at the Open Bar FP. At the Open Bar FP, as in fake pigskin. Holla at your boys. What up, Kyle? What up, Jared? On Twitter, at JMikeCheck, at JMICCheck, and the big homie himself, Gabe, on Twitter, at FFManBeezy. Sorry, FFManBun. FFManBun.
You're gonna be like, he changed it again?
Again? Yeah. Where's the grab bag guy? I just want the grab bag guy.
You grab into the bag and whoa. All right. Yeah, the FF Man Bun. I dropped some intro. So many people have asked me about intros. I apologize to y'all if you're listening to this and you're like, that motherfucker hadn't written me and recorded an intro. I've been on Thanksgiving, man. I've been grinding in this game we
Don't
call
lie to
life.
you.
Don't let me lie to you. Yeah, that's all trash.
He doesn't like
I'm
you.
I'm working. Okay, I will get you your intro, but that's kind of my thing, I guess, for Twitter. I'm Open Bar and I'm intro guy, and I have stupid videos that I post about things. By the way, math rap video. I gotta post that new one.
Hey,
coming through. Recording everything. It's all up on YouTube. I haven't even shared it on Twitter. But yeah, that's our thing. Oh, and the Open Bar. We do shirts ish. They're not like, they don't say Open Bar on them, but they say wubba lubba chub chub. And I think Belowski, we got, and the other Gunth, the other Tyler there, Gunth, he's there. So I have a pinned tweet on my profile that will take you into a Google form to sign up for those. Just kind of running through that process so I can order some and get them out to you people. I'm hoping for a December type of shipment, or maybe we'll just wait when he ends up, right head to head with Gurley as the RB1, that kind of style. And then y'all will be really saying, wubba lubba chub chub. But with that in mind, appreciate y'all coming on. Oh, J Mike, speak some words so you can see that if you're viewing live with us right now.
turn up. This here is the Wubba Lubba Chub Chub shirt in all of its splendor. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And this is a creation of Gabe's. Well, it came from his brain anyway. Artwork from someone, third party.
We're gonna need
shout out to Fiverr.
Yeah. shout out to contractors. Yeah. This is it. Yes.
Yep. So you're kind of indirectly supporting the Open Bar. It doesn't have any logo on it, but it does come from this show. We come up with some wild and crazy things, and the inside jokes are lit. Some would say a lituation, but that's all we have. we'll be here next week. I think J-Mike's kind of starting to run into the old exec producer mold, taking that over from NFL Draft Talker. So watch out, Jake. He's coming for you.
I just keep asking. I just keep asking people we know, people we don't know. I'm just asking any and everybody. So if you want to come on the show, hit Gabe up, hit me up on Twitter. We'd love to chop it up with you. Seriously.
we are certainly not too good for anyone.
No, never.
I mean, look
Wow,
at our guest list right now. I mean, my goodness.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, I feel special.
Guys, I was talking about Gunther, okay? You guys are great. I was talking about Tyler Gunther.
Gosh, you guys take it easy.
Yeah, my goodness. You all right? The sodium level okay?
Doesn't Hyde look like
No.
Guy when he got upset and found out that real name is Matthew?
Yeah, 100%.
He's mad.
Just like him.
He's upset.
Hey, let me say, Gunther is half the man I want to be.
Yeah.
And with that,
Yeah.
put your drinks up, fellas, or whatever you have in your hand, even if it's just your hand, that works. We will see y'all next week. Good luck in your playoffs if you're starting them, if you're in the middle of them. For the SFB people, shout out to Scott going to buy all them toys this Christmas for the tots. Good stuff out there. What 44,000? I think I read the email today. 44,000 raised for Fantasy Cares this year.
Bro.
Shout out to everyone involved with that. It's just, God, that's awesome. Awesome. So we'll see y'all next week. Good times were had. Cheers and deuces. Oh, shoot, guys.